Well, the weather doesn't get much better than this. We've had about 1.5 feet of snow fall over the past week. About 1 foot of that over the past 3 days. So I finally, for the first time this season, have a chance to break the snowshoes out. We haven't had enough snow on the ground yet this year to use the snowshoes. I could have earlier, but it would have been pretty pointless. And now, as you can see, there's a good amount of snow on our maple syruping boiler right here. Snow depth stick over there. Got about 10 inches or so, maybe 1 foot or so left before it's completely buried. It's right up around 16 or 17 inches right now. It's been really cold too. A couple mornings ago we were down to 3 below, and over the next 2 to 3 days our highs will be right around 10 degrees and our lows will be right around 5 to 10 below again. So it's finally winter's finally really locked itself in, I think. The snow we got last night, about 1/2 foot, is really powdery. It was 15 degrees or so while it was snowing, so it's really nice and fluffy, easy to clear away this morning. I'm gonna go out, head out in the woods and see if the deer have started moving around a little bit since this most recent snowfall. I was pretty busy last weekend, so I didn't get to get a video out. And don't have a lot of time this weekend either, but I wanted to get out here for a quick hike and get a video out, considering I didn't get one out last weekend. A little more often with the snowshoes now that we got some snow depth to pack our trail down. We usually use this trail right here to get to our maple trees for maple syruping season, like this big guy right here. We pack it down with the snowshoes like I'm doing right now. So that way, when we do go to tap the trees, we have a trail to follow when we're carrying buckets. Because we do it the old-fashioned way. We don't use the tubing. We only do about 30 trees or so. And we use the old tin buckets and then 5-gallon pails to collect the sap. It's a little bit of work, but it's fun doing it that way. That must be snow falling out of the trees, because there's no other markings. There's a little track right there that looks like a squirrel probably. Goes to this tree right there. Probably a gray squirrel, I'm guessing. The most amazing thing about the last couple of storms we've had is there hasn't been a lot of wind. Usually when we get snow around here, there's a lot of wind with the storms, and it blows all the snow out of the trees. For the most part, the winds have been pretty light, so these shorter trees get loaded up quite a bit. The short balsam fir and spruce. A lot of older tracks here that was made before this 1/2 foot that we got last night. We're coming out into the cutting out here. This is where I'm expecting to see at least some deer activity, a little more recent. Yep, just like that right there. There's a nice track right there. And a couple more over here. Tracks head out that way. The deer usually hang out pretty close to the ridge back here. Like I said, we're down in the cutting. The ridge behind our property is right up there where my snowshoe trail came from. There's a lot of oak in here, so they like to feed on those acorns like I've pointed out in some of my past videos. I'm gonna head down towards the brook. Should be pretty nice down there. My guess is there's quite a bit of snow in those trees still, with how protected it is from the wind. I was hoping to be able to find some antlers. The deer should be dropping them. The bucks should be dropping their sets of antlers now. But with all this new snow, the chances of finding them are pretty slim. Usually at this point now, you have to wait for a good thaw or until springtime, which by then, a lot of times, the mice and the squirrels will find them before we do, and they'll be all chewed up. But that's all right. Let them use them. We just like to collect them if we find them. At least that way they go to use. Quite a bit of activity in here. Looks like either a coyote track or a bobcat. Based off of that step distance right there, I think it's probably a coyote. Yeah, there's another set right there. They're dog tracks. They're not deer. They're probably in this thick stuff, hunting rabbit. There's usually quite a bit of rabbit sign in here. They love this really low, thick undergrowth. I don't see any rabbit tracks yet, but they're probably hunkering down after this snow. Pretty nice out here. Starting to cloud back up a little bit. They said we could get some snow showers this evening. It's quiet right now. There's quite a bit of snow in here. I'm sinking up to my knees with snowshoes on. It's easily 1.5 feet out here right now. There's no real snow in sight now for at least another week though. It's just going to be really cold. But the next chance of snow looks like next weekend. Yeah, other than some snowmobiles off in the distance, we're close to one of the ITS trails, the International Trail System trails that run around the state of Maine. We're pretty close to ITS 87 here. I can hear some people snowmobiling on that, but other than that, I don't hear much of anything at all right now. This snow has really dampened the sound. I'm going to keep walking around out here and see if there's any more signs. I didn't expect to see much deer sign just yet with that new snow that just ended first thing this morning. So well, no other sign as of yet. Just old tracks underneath this most recent snow. Still a bit too early for things to be moving around. I'm guessing overnight tonight the deer will start moving around quite a bit more. It really just ended. The snow just ended like probably 6 or 7 o'clock this morning. It's about midday now. And usually the wildlife doesn't move around until the night after a snowstorm. Beautiful balsam fir trees out here. Full size. That's probably 50 feet tall or so right there, 50 to 60 feet tall. They typically get about that tall before they start to die off. And those are fully mature. And they're really pretty out here when there's snow in them like that. The brook is right underneath here, all frozen over. Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about it, but within the next month or so, we'll probably be tapping trees. Maple syruping season's right around the corner. We typically start tapping somewhere at the end of February or at the beginning of March is usually when the temps warm up enough. You want it to be ideally, above freezing, upper 30s and into the 40s during the day, and then dropping back down well below freezing at night to get the best run conditions for the sap. And usually that kind of weather and those kind of temps happen in this area sometime in March. And then depending on the year, you can get a good month out of syruping season, or some years it's shorter, some years it's longer. Last year was a little bit shorter. We only had about 3 weeks worth of run time, and it really wasn't the best year. The year before was so good that we actually pulled taps because we were running out of firewood. So this year we've got a little bit more wood, and we've got more dead trees standing still that we can cut if we need to. The only challenge with that is hopefully there's not too much snow when we go to do that, because it makes it a lot harder to get around. Well, I'm back out in the cutting, got out of the thick woods, so I'm almost back home. I'll probably just see those same sets of deer tracks that I saw right at the beginning of the hike. But if I see something different, I'll let you know. If not, this will be it for this video. Guys, thanks for watching and checking in. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon next to it to be sure that you're notified every time I put out a new video. Like and comment, leave me suggestions as to what you want to see in some of these videos. It'd be greatly appreciated. Until the next video, hopefully that'll be next weekend. Hopefully we've got another snowstorm, and I'll try to get some footage of that, unless something else comes up before then. But until then, thanks for watching.